If you own a property here in Nigeria, then at any given point in time, you can prove that you actually own the property which you claim belongs to you. If you can't, then it is very, very obvious that the property does not belong to you. If maybe there's a dispute or there's a claim to the property which you claim belongs to you, then it is obvious that the property which you think is yours does not belong to you in the eyes of the law. According to the Supreme Court of Nigeria, there are 5 ways that you can prove ownership of a landed property, and that is what we'll be looking at in today's episode. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to our channel. We celebrate you and we are happy that you are here. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Kristas. Please do well to subscribe to our channel, click on the bell notification so you'll be notified when we post new videos, and also do well to give this video a thumbs up. 5 ways that you can prove ownership of a landed property according to the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The first way you can prove ownership of a landed property here in Nigeria is through traditional history. This is what we call native land. In Nigeria, you can own a property and you don't have a document to that property. Why? Because the property is still in the custody of the native owners, and it is only when that property is sold from the native owners to the next person that is buying it, that is when documents will come in place. But when the property is still in the hands of the native owner doesn't have any document. And if you ask them what is the title of the land, they will tell you that the title of the land is native. So through traditional history, you can own a property. If you can prove that the property which you claim belongs to you, you inherited it from your father inherited it from the grandfather, and you can prove the traditional ancestral history of that property, then the property can be regarded to be yours as a result of the traditional history. That is, if you are a native of that place. The next way you can prove ownership of a landed property is by documentation and title. If you have a document that proves that you have bought this property from somebody, or you have a document that proves that this property have been transferred to you, then it is another way that you can prove ownership of a property. As long as there's a document that proves that by virtue of this, or by virtue of this particular transaction, the ownership, the right and the interest of this property have been transferred to this person, and you have that document, then the property is yours. Another way you can prove ownership of a property is by act of possession. That by act of possession, it means that if you have been in possession of a particular landed property for a long period of time, according to the law, for a period of at least 12 years, then you can prove ownership of that property by that act of possession. The next way you can prove ownership of a landed property here in Nigeria is by proof of long enjoyment and possession without any disturbance, encumbrance or challenge from anybody. If you have been enjoying a land, occupying a land, making use of it without any disturbance, without anybody challenging you, without anybody encumbering into the property for a long period of time, then in the eyes of the law, that property can be regarded to be your own. The next way you can prove ownership of a landed property here in Nigeria is by proof of connected or adjacent land. What this means is that if you own a property, and maybe you own this property and you have been living here for some time, you can prove that you own the land that is opposite your property, or the land that is connected to your property, maybe after or before your property. In a situation whereby there is a dispute or there is a claim to the property that is opposite or connected to your property, in the eyes of the law can look at it that since you own the property that is adjacent, or the property that is connected to this particular one that has a dispute, there is every possibility that you owns the one that is in dispute. Of course, according to this, there is no guarantee that the person that owns the land that is adjacent or connected to a particular property owns the property. But then, according to the Supreme Court of Nigeria, what is stipulated in the law, there is a possibility that if you own a property that is adjacent or connected to another property, that you can claim ownership of that property. That possibility exists according to the Supreme Court of Nigeria. So what I've just mentioned are the 5 stipulated ways according to the Supreme Court of Nigeria that an individual can prove ownership of a landed property here in Nigeria. So before you fight or go to court over any property, make sure that you can prove ownership in any of the 5 ways that I have mentioned in this video. It is not a must that you must prove ownership in the 5 ways that I have mentioned in all the 5 ways. No, even if you can prove ownership in any of them, it is enough. If you can prove ownership through any of these means, then there is a possibility that the court might look into it that the property actually belongs to you. If you have gotten value from this video, please do well to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell notification so you'll be notified when we post new videos. Till I come your way next time, I remain Chris Aseka.